Your first time seeing my live Periscope? Awesome, thank you. I love when my YouTubers come over here and they find me on Periscope and we get to talk live, because usually I only get to talk to you in the comments. You've been following my blog and YouTube. Awesome, awesome. Cool, I'm excited. Thank you, Gem Dreams 1214. So, yay for YouTube. My name is Rebekah Borucki. I have a website called BEXLIFE.com. I teach people about living their bliss and finding bliss no matter who, what, or where they are. And it's easy. It's really not that hard. We do it through yoga and meditation and clean living and happiness, just smiling a lot and sharing and loving and growing. The common theme here, the purpose that I believe all of us have, is to love and to be loved, and to learn and then to teach what we have learned. So that's what I try to do here every single day. I messed up this week. I wanted to have a theme of exploring your inner child, reconnecting with your inner child, and finding your purpose through that. And then a couple things happened. I wanted to put it on YouTube. First, I lost the video from day one because it didn't go to Twitter. So that's why I'm asking you to help me by sharing this on Twitter and sharing this with your followers here on Periscope. So that happened. And then I decided that we didn't need 5 days for it. We really needed 3, because it's 3 steps. There's a lot of homework. The steps are easy, but the work can be very, very big. So we're going to do this through 3 steps. And I'm going to recap step 1 and step 2, and then we're going to get into the challenge of step 3. So if you're watching this for the first time, you're going to be all caught up and you've missed nothing. And I love that I have 113 people right here, right now. And I hope you're all tapping hearts. I hope you're all tapping for hearts. This is my custom mug by the Love Bomb Company. Jenna Nelson, creator of the lovebombcompany.com. She made this for me, and a couple of my very good friends, I designed it with her, so I love this. So I'm going to take a sip of water and we're going to get started. I got to tell you, I woke up so tired this morning, and I am so amped right now. As soon as I turn on this camera and connect with you guys and see the hearts and see the comments, I get super, super excited. So, step number 1, we talked about connecting with your inner child on day 1 of this, and I'm putting this all in one video. Step 1 is a question, and I think that the best teachers are the ones who ask questions, and the best way to learn is to ask questions. So if your guru says they have all the answers and they're not asking a lot of questions, then wonder a little bit about that guru or that teacher. So step 1, who were you before the world told you who you should be? Who were you? And a lot of the answers that I was getting was I was adventurous, curious, inquisitive, fearless, miraculous, boundless, limitless. Think of the little bitty baby taking their first steps, my 11-month-old. I have 5 children from 17 down to 11 months. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Black Scorpio. Google does not have all the answers. Your heart inside has all the answers. But I think about my 11-month-old who's walking now, and what she looked like when she was taking her first steps, and how many times she fell down and got right back up again, because I was allowing her to do so. She's fearless in her natural state. She is curious. She is limitless. She knows that she can walk. She knows it's something that she's supposed to do. And it's not just about instinct. It's also about heart. It's about connecting with ourselves on a soul level. And understanding that that when we're operating from that place of our pure spirit being, we have no limits, because soul has no limits. Our little bitty bodies are kind of containers so that we can move around with our souls here on earth and connect with other people and interact, but our souls are limitless. So I like to think of my body as kind of living inside my soul instead of my soul inside my body. I think that's a really good visual, that our body's kind of like inside this huge energy force. So the baby walks without fear and keeps getting up and up and up and up and up again until it succeeds. Can we go back to that state where we're that person? Where we're that person who is relentless and fearless and curious and has huge imagination. So that's step 1, the question. Who were you before the world told you who you should be? And sometimes people are well-intentioned when they tell you who you should be. They're trying to protect you from mistakes, like don't pick your nose in public because your friends won't like you, or don't touch the stove because it's going to burn you. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes people are putting their irrational fears and their own limits in our heads and our hearts, and we carry those with us. How many of us carry the irrational fears and limits of our parents around? Because they couldn't do something, we think that we can't do it either. Soul is greater than body, yes. So step 2 on this mission of finding your purpose and finding your true happiness and being able to live a life that you love and pursue all of your dreams is asking the next step of this question. How would you act? What would you be? How would you speak, think, move, behave if no one ever told you how to be? And I'm not talking about learning how to tie your shoes or learning how to drive a car, like things that are important to help us get around, learning how to use a fork. I'm talking about things like yesterday I brought up in my Periscope how to draw a snowman and why we're all shitty artists. If we've been through the public school system or even the private school system, how we're all kind of shitty artists, because the first time we ever went to draw a snowman or a butterfly or a turkey, how many people, raise your hands if you ever drew a turkey, a Thanksgiving turkey, with your hand, and this is the head and these were the feathers? Raise your hand if you ever drew that turkey. What a messed up way to draw a turkey. It doesn't even make any sense. A turkey, I have wild turkeys all over my property. I've never seen a turkey look like this. I've never seen a turkey walk by like this. But that's the way we were taught. The teacher, the very well-meaning, loving teacher, was like, here's how you draw a snowman. Circle, 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 top hat, carrot nose, coal, 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 coal. That was how we drew a snowman. And that's how we continue to draw snowmen and teach our children how to draw snowmen. Butterflies, same thing. Some of us drew butterflies with our hands like this. Some of us drew turkeys like this. It makes no sense. It's easy for a kid to understand. But what about giving a kid a piece of paper and a crayon and saying, draw a turkey. Go nuts. Draw a turkey. Or draw whatever you want. Go nuts. No parameters. Imagine who we would be if we applied those principles to everything in life. Express yourself freely. I said yesterday, which was really funny, I'm a birth doula, which I help women through the birthing process. I've seen women be embarrassed about the sounds that they make during the childbirth process, the most natural process that there is, bringing life into this world. A process that's so natural that even if you were passed out, your body would still deliver this baby for you. Women used to be knocked out to have babies. They'd be afraid to make a noise. I make all kinds of noise when I'm having a baby. I'm like, rawr! My husband says I turn into a werewolf, but I've seen women embarrassed about the sounds that they make. At such a primal level, we get fearful about what people are going to think. Imagine who we would be, how we would act, speak, move, behave, express ourselves if no one told us about the rules. You know your noises are primal. Yeah. Or pooping. Women also poop a lot during childbirth. And if a woman said, I didn't poop, it's most likely because their doctor or their nurse or their spouse is being very kind to them and telling them they didn't poop on the table. But almost all women poop during childbirth. If you say you didn't, I probably don't believe you. Yes, because you're pushing the baby out and then the poop comes out too. But I digress. I want to move on from this. So the second question is, how would you act? How would you behave? How would you express yourself if no one told you how to be? And now we're on to number 3. I'm trying to keep it on track today, people. I'm trying not to get distracted. But I love your comments and I love your hearts. So thank you. I'm going to take one more sip. Water. I'm drinking water. All my energy comes from pure source. Water. Number 3. And this is the real work. So you've answered a question and now you have to do the work. You've answered the questions. Here's the sweat part. What are you going to do with these answers? Now you know who you were before the world told you who you were going to be or how to be. Now you know all those qualities that you were born with, right? So people will use words to describe themselves and say, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, or I have depression, or I have anxiety, or I'm fat, or I'm unworthy, or I'm tired, or I'm lazy, or I'm ambitious, or I'm a winner. They'll use all these words, and all of these words put you into a box. Good and bad, these words put you into a box. There is one word that won't, though. I am limitless. You were born to be limitless. You were born without a plan. The only plan that the universe, that God, that Spirit had for us was to go and explore and be. Just be and discover and uncover and adventure. Adventure as a verb. Use adventure as a verb. I'm going to adventure and discover and be. I am limitless. So you have discovered now that you are limitless, and that is the fact. Your natural state is being fearless and limitless. Your natural state. We have answered that question. Now, how would you act if you were limitless? How would you act if you were fearless? If you had no rules? I think that you would be infinitely kind and gracious and compassionate. Because you know there's no competition. Because you could do anything. So why not be kind to your fellow brothers and sisters? Why wouldn't you always be loving? There's no competition. Competition, lack, all those things, they come out of fear. But now you have no fear. You're fearless and you're limitless. So you're infinitely kind. You're infinitely and hugely expressive. Even in your quiet times, you're expressing yourself fully. When I say infinitely and hugely expressive, I don't mean loud. That's how I get. But you don't have to get that way. You're just expressing yourself fully. The flow that's coming out of your heart, that energy is coming so fast and so swift and so pure that it's just like lights beaming from your heart. You can imagine it. It's beautiful. Awesome. Infinitely joyful. Yes, fearless and limitless. How would you think? How would you move? How would you talk? How would you dress? How would you express yourself? If you had no fear of judgment, criticism, no fear of limits, no fear of lack, no fear of there not being enough, how would you behave? This is a practice for me too. I revisit this every single day. It's not like I'm living in a state of pure joy and limitlessness every day. I revisit it every day. I have downtimes just like everyone else. I have anxiety. I have days that I feel depressed, and I revisit it. Who was I? Who am I in my natural state? Who am I? How was I created? With divine intention? Yes. Who was I naturally as a baby? Limitless, fearless, curious, imaginative? Yes. I revisit it. Now, how does that person act? Does that person worry about what other people are thinking? No. Does that person get caught up in negativity on social media? No. Does that person worry about where the next paycheck is going to come from? No. That person gets out and gets the paycheck. That person goes out and works for it and asks for it. So that number 3, now what are you going to do with this information? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do today with it? Pick up a pencil or paintbrush and watch what happens. Limitless. Yes. Living my mission with total focus. Yes. Reset every morning. Absolutely. It's a practice. Everything's a practice. Yoga is a practice. Meditation is a practice. Eating well is a practice. I just came off of like a 30-day binge on jalapeno poppers. I got to repair myself. I was like, treat yourself, treat yourself, treat yourself. And then I crashed so hard the other day. I called my friend Danielle Diamond. I think she's on still. And I was like, ugh, I think I broke myself. I had ice cream for breakfast. I was like eating jalapeno poppers and fried foods. I broke myself. I was like, treat yourself. Then I broke myself. Popper downer, I know. There's Danielle Diamond. Follow her. She broadcasts every day at 108. She's amazing. She's amazing. I am lactose intolerant, but I still torture myself. So what are we going to do with this information? These are the 3 steps to living your purpose. The real 3 steps to living your purpose. It's just about asking questions. You don't have to buy a program. You don't have to go to school. I mean, all these things are great. I love learning, and I'm always investing in my learning and myself. But for the real stuff, all the real stuff is free. Everything real in life is free. The best things in life are free. Cliche, but true. All the cliches are true. The best things in life are free. You ask yourself a question. If it takes you getting quiet in meditation and taking a few minutes just to be really, really quiet and asking the question and letting the answer crop up organically, then do that. That's usually how I get all my answers. I get super quiet in meditation. I practice. Once you are well practiced in meditation, every single time you get quiet, you're going to go into such a deep state that the answers just come up instantly. It's so easy. I tap into my God self every single day. So it's who was I? Infinite. Bam. Limitless. Of course. How would I act? I'd be fully me without any kind of fear of criticism, judgment, repercussions, consequence, because who I am is limitless and kind and compassionate and wonderful and curious. So I should fear nothing when I'm being those things. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to get up. I'm going to live this day. I'm going to live the hell out of this day. I'm going to live life like I mean it. My good friend Chris Carr says that. Live life like you mean it. So I'm going to live this life like I mean it. I'm going to show up at Periscope for you guys at 11:11 every single Monday through Friday. We're going to jam together, no matter how tired I am, no matter what else I had to do. I had to shoot a video really quick before this, and I was like, I gotta hurry up and shoot this video because I got to be on time for my people at 11:11. I'm getting paid a lot of money to make that video, but what's my priority? Showing up for you guys at 11:11. I'm going to live this day like I mean it. I'm going to do the stuff that brings me joy. Do the stuff that sparks joy, inspired by my new favorite book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And then my other favorite book that I want to recommend to you all, and I've mentioned it a bunch of times, The Big Leap, which is doing wonders for my business life and my personal relationship, my marriage. My husband and I have been listening to it together, The Big Leap. And it's been so wonderful, and the communication that's coming out of it has been amazing. So The Big Leap. Get that book. And The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. It's fun for everybody, especially if you have like OCD tendencies. It's an amazing book that you're going to love. Change your life. The Big Leap, it's about breaking your upper limits. It's about breaking through the glass ceiling that you have created for yourself. It sounds really like esoteric and like woo-woo, but it's not. There's a lot of practical stuff, practical questions and activities or like tasks to do that will blow your mind. I have found so many things that I've been doing to limit myself that I've been able to eradicate in a day. I'm just like, oh, I'm upper limiting myself. I got to stop. And my husband and I are using that code word together. You're upper limiting yourself. Stop doing that. So if you take my 3 steps right now, asking yourself who you were before the world told you who you should be, asking yourself who you would be if you never heard those things from the world, if no one ever told you how to be, and then asking yourself, now what am I going to do about it? Those are going to set you on a course toward bliss that you will not be able to get off. If you continue that practice, you can't even get off path. Every single day is going to be a little bit closer to enlightenment, bliss, joy. You're going to seek out new things, yoga, meditation, higher learning, reading. You're going to find new teachers, new opportunities. You're going to take on bigger responsibilities and opportunities that are going to make you feel empowered and excited about life. Those 3 steps, folks, that's all you got to do. All kinds of other stuff and all kinds of other work is going to come along with following those 3 steps, but that's all you have to do. Don't you love it when it's easy? You're speed tapping. Thank you. I know a lot of people who think that the path to success has to be hard. So they'll spend a lot of money and they'll do a lot of work and they'll put themselves through all this needless suffering. I got news for you, folks. If you follow me, you're going to learn pretty quickly that if it's hard, I ain't doing it. I work my butt off. I'm very dedicated to my craft. I show up on time. I'm well disciplined in my work and in my actions and in my belief systems, even in my thoughts. I'm well disciplined. I'm well disciplined in self-love and self-care. But that doesn't mean it's hard. It's just repetitive. I just do the things that I got to do every single day, again and again and again, to ensure my success. Who was I in my natural state? How does that person act when they're in their natural state. And what am I going to do now that I know this information? You followed me for 3 years? Yay! Thank you. Spiritual hustler. That's hysterical. Oh, I love you, Samantha Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you, Love Natty. Thank you, Danielle, for showing up. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for the boom. And thank you for the pause up, everybody. Thank you for showing up every day at 11:11 and other times when I just pop in with some random inspiration. You truly do inspire me. I believe that we are on this mission together. We're co-inspiring. So you inspire me, I inspire you right back. We keep giving the love. The circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We bring more people in. It gets bigger and bigger. We start affecting all the people around us. It gets bigger and bigger until we are going to just take over the world with our light. Just imagine a spinning orb of lights. Like that's us. One last thing. If you guys have hung on, that means that you're amazing and that you really love this information. I have a private Facebook group that I run with Danielle Diamond. We are embarking on a couple really huge, amazing journeys. We teach people how to take their yoga off the mat and into the world for ultimate happiness and success. It's an amazing group of powerful people, and it's called Zen Bliss. And anyone who's in that group, go ahead and type in Zen Bliss so people know what to search. So go on Facebook and search Zen Bliss and join us. You can also go to BEXScopes.com, B-E-X, scopes, like periscopes.com, and you can pick up my favorite meditation that I use personally to empower myself and to feel amazing every day, and you can download it and listen to it on your phone and all that good stuff. So there's Zen Bliss with an X, and BEXScopes.com to pick up that free meditation. To do those things. And I will see you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about how you've changed your life in just one day. I love you. Come on. All right, ready? Woo! Give me kisses. Can I have kisses? Can I have kisses? All right, you got this.